2025 is here, and let me tell you, this is absolutely going to be the year to ruin your finances. If you're ready to throw away your hard-earned cash, rack up debt, and kiss financial stability goodbye, you've come to the right place. Stop worrying about getting ahead and saving for your future. I'm going to show you exactly how to sabotage your finances in the most spectacularly bad way possible. Stick around because you don't want to miss these tips to financial destruction. Step 1, simply ignore your money. Pretend that it does not exist. Don't set any financial goals. Definitely don't think about where you want to be in the next 5 years. And definitely do not ask yourself what financial stability looks like. Without goals, how can you possibly know if you're making any progress? Exactly, you cannot. And that is the beauty of this approach. Tell yourself, this is just how life is. I'll always be stuck living paycheck to paycheck. But don't stop there. Convince yourself that actually avoiding your money is self-care. Tell yourself, I deserve this expensive restaurant every day. Or thinking about money is just too stressful. I'm just going to be kind to myself by ignoring it. Confuse self-care with self-neglect. Let unopened bills pile up. Avoid bank apps like the plague and spend aimlessly without any idea where your money is going. The less you know, the better. Back when I was a younger man in the Coast Guard in my 20s, I was brilliant, as I thought, and had a single family home, 4-bed, 2-bath, where I rented out the other rooms to other Coast Guard guys at a profit of $600 a month. I got to a point where I had the whole mortgage paid and I was making $500 a month. But what did I do? Did I save and invest that? Absolutely not. I ignored it. And you know what happened? I ate and drank more than usual, and I'd highly recommend it. Managing money doesn't have to be simple. I would highly recommend making it as complicated as possible. Forget about automation. Instead of just setting a bill pay every bill manually, one at a time on the last possible day. That way you can maximize your chances of overdrafting and absolutely racking up the late fees. Better yet, keep your financial records in the most disorganized way that you possibly can. Use a shoebox for receipts, just like this one, a drawer for important documents, and let the rest pile up on your kitchen counter. When the tax season rolls around, it'll feel like a scavenger hunt. Who doesn't love a little excitement in their financial life? You know, I grew up in a family, and this is what it looked like for my family to pay the bills on a regular weeknight. My dad had a shoebox, much like this one, and a checkbook, and would write everything down, and I don't know exactly what he did, but it looked like a lot of fun, so that's why I wanted to replicate this for this video. And when I started learning about personal finance, I knew that the best gurus had the most elaborate budgeting systems. There's a staple in this one. And so I felt like that was a good place to start if you want to make it as hard as possible to get ahead with your money in 2025. The car of your dreams. Forget about practicality. Go big, go fancy, go broke. Find the most expensive car that you can barely afford. And don't even think about negotiating. Just point at the shiniest one on the lot and say, I'll take it. Financing? Go for the longest term possible. Sure, you'll pay triple the car's value in interest, but who cares? You'll have heated seats, a sunroof, and an ego boost every time you roll through the drive-thru. Don't forget about all the extras. Extended warranties, premium insurance, upgrades you'll never use. Pile them on. If your car payment's not more than your rent, are you even trying? Funny enough, I did the reverse of this, and that made for some terrible outcomes. I bought several cars that were incredibly cheap for cash. Following another financial guru's advice in my early 20s, we went through 8 cars in 5 years. So top that. Here's a pro tip. Put your money where it earns nothing. High yield savings account, too much work. Find the bank with the lowest interest rate possible and stick with it. Bonus points if they charge you fees for having an account, or if their customer service is terrible. If you really want to sabotage your finances, keep all your savings in cash at home. Inflation will quietly eat away at it while you sit back and do nothing. It's like setting your money on fire, but slower. You know, sometimes people are too scared to invest. They would rather die a slow, painful death via inflation. So if you're afraid of the stock market, just know that you might be slightly less afraid of losing all of your money and purchasing power to inflation. Your choice. Why own anything when you can rent forever? Forget buying a house. Paying rent means that you have the privilege of giving your landlord most of your hard-earned money each and every month. Commitment is for boomers. Furniture, Rent it. Appliances, you can rent those too. Sure, you might pay 3 times the value of that over time, but that is future you's problem. Not today you. You know, I personally love renting because we typically have a string of landlords that aren't great. I remember when we were pregnant with my daughter, we had a mouse infestation at the house we were renting in a nice neighborhood. My landlord very graciously rolled up in his Mercedes SUV only to literally use twigs and I think tape to try to cover the areas where we felt like the mice were getting in, but he didn't stop there. He waited weeks until the mice literally burrowed into the insulation of our oven, which made for a very sanitary environment, especially for my pregnant wife. Did he pay for the pest control? Of course not. He's a big DIY guy. You know, he came over and did a pretty terrible job. Instead of us suing them, we finally just paid out of pocket for our own pest control and got the problem solved eventually for a lot more money. So it worked out great. Credit cards, the ultimate tool to ruin your financial life. Use them for everything. Gas, groceries, late night shopping spree, get after it. Just charge it all. Here's the secret weapon. Only make the minimum payment every month. Let that balance pile up until your interest is so high, it feels like climbing Mount Everest to pay it off every month. And definitely don't track your spending. Swipe now, worry never. It's the financial motto of champions. There you have it, 6 guaranteed ways to ruin your finances in 2025. See you in the comments where we can brag about the dumbest thing we've spent money on together. Definitely don't watch this video about the millionaire next door, because being a millionaire is gross. Why would you ever want to do that? Thanks for watching.